それでは早速本日6つ目のコンテンツを進めてまいりたいと思います。ゲストはカルティエジャパンプレジデント&CEO のベロニカ・プラット・バンティールさんとフェンディジャパン株式会社代表取締役社長のベアトリーチェ・モンギーリーさんです。カルティエジャパンのプレジデント&CEO であるベロニカ・プラット・バンティールさんは1996年パリのマネジメントスクール ESCP ヨーロッパを卒業、マーケティング&セールスのマネジメントでキャリアをスタートし、その後コンサルティングの道に進まれます。カルティエには2000年に入社し、パリ本社でのプロジェクトコーディネーターや、パリのプランタン百貨店内ブティックのアシスタントマネージャーに就任されます。その後ロンドンのカルティエ UK でリテールディレクターをお務めになり、日本には2014年に来日されました。新たな営業戦略を打ち出し、2017年8月カルティエジャパンプレジデント&チーフエグゼクティブオフィサーに就任なさいました。プライベートでは息子と娘を持つ母としての顔もお持ちでいらっしゃいます。続いてフェンディジャパン株式会社代表取締役社長のベアトリーチェ・モングイリーさんについてご紹介いたします。イタリアご出身でミラノのカトリック大学言語文学部卒業でいらっしゃいます。マックス・マーラーでキャリアをスタートさせ、ドルチェ&ガッパーナ、バレンティノを経て現職に至るまで約20年間にわたりラグジュアリー業界での仕事にグローバルに携わっていらっしゃいます。2007年5月にローマのフェンディ本社に入社され、2014年2月までワールドワイドマーチャンダイジングディレクターを歴任。その後ご家族とともにパリを拠点にフランスおよびスイスのリテールディレクターを務め、2016年5月フェンディジャパン株式会社代表取締役社長にご就任なさいました。プライベートでは3人のお嬢様がいらっしゃいます。フランス・パリを代表する高級ジュエリーブランドカルティエ、イタリア・ローマを象徴するラグジュアリーブランドフェンディ、比類なきクリエーションのみならず女性や文化遺産のため継続的な支援を続ける人気ブランドのジャパン社をリードする女性 CEO のご登壇です。グローバルな視点で見た日本と海外のギャップ、ワーク・ライフバランス、これからの女性がどんな風に働くべきなのか、そしてブランドの垣根を越えたお仕事対談のスタートです。題してELLE Japonプレゼンツ人気トップブランド CEO 対談、ラグジュアリーグローバルカンパニーがリードする女性の未来。それではお呼びしたいと思います。ベロニカ・プラット・バンティールさんとベアトリーチェ・モングイリーさんです。Please welcome Mrs. Platt Van Thiel and Mrs. Monguiri。 大きな拍手でお迎えください。それでは早速最初のテーマについて伺いたいと思います。グローバルパースペクティブ、日本と海外のギャップについてのお話に移りましょう。お二方はフランス、イギリス、日本でキャリアを築かれていらっしゃいますが、女性が働く環境について日本と海外での差をお感じになることはあるんでしょうか。 Mrs. Monguiri, would you like to take it away?
So good morning, everyone, and I'm very happy to be here. Events like this one are extremely, extremely important all over the world because growing women's leadership in society is not something that is going to happen organically over time just because it is the right thing to do or because it is politically correct. Let's look at facts. For example, women have the same access to university than men. Most of the time they have better grades, but this does not automatically translate into having the same opportunities in getting important positions. And the rate of women in top management roles is still extremely low. And when you are in Japan, I think you really feel it because when you go to business gatherings, I guess many times we are the only women in the room, or there are very few women in the room.
Yes, that's right, Beatrice. And it's true that women in Japan, when you see management roles, it's only 11%, which is extremely low. And if you look at how many women there are in the boards, it's even lower. It's only 3%. That's one of the worst countries in the world. So there really is something that we can do, because the number of girls who actually go to university is even more than boys in Japan. Then something changes. And it's true that as a first woman president in Japan, I feel I have a very big honor, but also a big responsibility to speak about this topic of empowering women in Japan.
I think when you compare Japan to Western countries, there is a very important difference. You know, everybody is fighting and getting engagement to get gender equity, but in other countries there is the awareness that women has the right to have a career. In Japan, I feel that women have a big social pressure, enormous social pressure for different reasons. They fear that there is a big judgment on their wanting a career, on their ambition. There is a judgment in terms of, especially if they are mother, are they good mothers or not? And another social pressure is coming from the fact that men, most of the time, they're not used to be active in family arrangement. So I feel sometimes people in my team, they tell me, I need to educate my husband in supporting me. And I can feel it's very heavy, difficult for them. So I think that globally, both men and women in this moment, we need to take a social responsibility and engagement to change this kind of mindset, especially in Japan.
And speaking of the global perspective, it's also what the government can do in Japan. Of course, us as representative of companies, we have a responsibility internally, but more globally, if you look at countries such as France or Scandinavian countries in Europe, they have done a lot as governments in the policies in order to implement things that will empower women and support the women and the men to choose the life they want to have, to be the best wife, the best mother, and also, if they wish to be the best businesswoman.
Yes. I think anyway there are many things that we can do on our daily basis to change the mindset, looking at the way we hire people, looking at the way we promote people. And there are also, the change of mindset, I think, comes also from very little things. For example, it happens to me when I'm working with my team that when we consider somebody for a position, sometimes I hear maybe a man will be better. I don't even talk about that because being a man or a woman is not a talent or it's not a skill, so we should not even talk about this. Or, for example, when there is an opportunity and we need to promote somebody, sometimes I hear, oh, this lady, she has children, so better not to ask. We should ask. I mean, she has the right to express her ambition about the job, and she has the right to be considered like equally eligible for that. So we need to empower them, ask them. And to be honest, it never happened that the lady that was involved turned out the opportunity. So we really need to change this bias on our daily life in the way we behave.
I had a similar experience where a young lady resigned, and because Japanese are so respectful, they don't want to ask for something, they don't want to say, but she was really wanted to stay in Maison Cartier, and she didn't dare to ask because she was a young mother and she wanted also to take good care of her children for special hours. So we asked her, what if we adjust, our time schedule, organize super flex time, do things within our company to give the flexibility so that the women can work and still take care of their families. I think that's very important for us as a company, to really support the men and the women, accepting diversity of each other. It's not one or the other, it's together to make as one team a wonderful place to work and to live. So maybe we speak now about, we were asked other topics.
we were actually running out of time. That's why I showed up. So, yeah, time to move on to the next theme. お話ねもっと伺いたいんですけれども、いろいろと伺いたいことありますので、次のテーマに移らせていただきたいと思います。国をまたいでグローバルにお仕事をなさっていらっしゃいます。お二方ともそれぞれお二人、3人のお子様いらっしゃいますが、会場の多くの読者の皆さんにも気になることだと思います。ワーク・ライフ・バランスについてどのように意識されているのかお話を伺いたいと思います。So the next theme will be work-life balance. Would you like to start?
So work-life balance is always a challenge, I think, across all societies, and especially for women, because traditionally women are the foundation of the societies. So the expectations are very high to take care of the household, to take care of the family, to take care of the elder parents, to take care also of the business in a different way. And I think that what moved me most, my daughter is here today, and she said once something to me, you know, it's not always easy to do everything. And I came back one day, I was very tired, I had been traveling, and I felt a little bit bad that I couldn't be with her. So I said, oh, you know, I'm sorry, I hope you understand, mommy's not always, you know, maybe at home or as much as I would want to. And what she said was, you know, Mom, I know so many friends, their mothers are there every day, but they're actually not really there. They're not doing anything with them. They don't play with them. They don't talk about stories. They're too busy about the house and about the next thing to do, the shopping or the daily. When you're with me, you're really with me. And I think that was the most beautiful and, sorry, a bit emotional. But I think that's really the key, is really to be present every day, whatever you do, whether it's with work, with a friend who needs you, with your colleagues, with your family, to be present every day and be yourself every day. I think that's really the key to the best work-life balance and to living a happy and fulfilled life.
I have to say that it was also thanks to my daughter that I suddenly realized that that I was giving her, in a way, what she wanted from me. I want to share this story because I really hope it's going to be helpful for many mothers. I know that being a working mother many times makes you feel very guilty. Once one of my Japanese employee told me, I saw you're also feeling guilty, even Americans, Europeans. Of course we do. And my daughter helped me to overcome this feeling of feeling guilty. You know, for many years, I was trying to not to talk too much about my job with her. And at a certain point, I started to understand that I had to do exactly the opposite. I had to involve and engage her. I had to have more communication about it with her. And the turning point happened 2 years ago when I had to move to Japan for my new position here. Me and my husband, we were a little bit scared about telling her we would have to move on the other side to the other side of the world. She would have to leave her elder sisters, change school, change friends. But the first reaction she had, she hugged me so tight and she told me, oh, Mom, I'm so proud of you. So I'm also very emotional about that because we would have never expected this reaction. So in that moment, I felt a working mother can be a very positive role model for their children. And this changed completely my perspective, completely.
And as work-life balance, I think also one thing that maybe, you know, in Japan, as in other countries, it's to realize that it's for both in a couple or in a family, that supporting each other and everybody playing a role to support and help and do a little bit, that makes the difference at the end of the day, so that everybody can enjoy, not only the man, not only the woman, but together as a couple or as a family.
And I think this is a very key point in Japan. You know, once, in this moment in Fendi, we're having a baby boom. So I don't know if it was a very good idea to send a woman to Japan, but that's a great thing. And What we're doing, we're of course reintegrating after the maternity leave people in their position. And it happened to me once that one employee came to tell me that she was pregnant before telling it to her direct boss. And I think she really wanted to feel reassured on the fact that it's feasible. She wasn't scared about losing her job, not at all, because that's not the culture in Fendi. But she wanted, from woman to woman, to feel that you can be a mother, you can be a good mother, and you can work. And one of the things I told her is, of course it's feasible, and please talk about your husband about that, about how important it is for you, how he needs to be engaged in organizing your future life, because it's a common responsibility, So, and I think the role of men in Japan really needs to change significantly. And women, they need to talk about it with them, and they need to make them understand how important it is.
Yes, time to move on. では続いてのテーマ、The Human Potential について伺いたいと思います。社員マネジメントについてお伺いします。女性の才能を引き出してよりモチベーションをアップするために取り組まれていることとはどんなことなんでしょうか。So, Mrs. Monguidi, would you like to tell us about what you think about the next theme, the human potential?
Human potential, I think, is everything. My purpose is to make, for example, Fendi a very exciting place to work with, where people feel valued and motivated to contribute to the success of the company. But, the bigger motivation comes from seeing individuals grow up and develop themselves. And talking about how important it is to motivate women, I think that we have the chance to belong to a group that is extremely active. LVMH has created 10 years ago a program which is called ELLE WOMEN. And this program has the purpose of having a 50-50%, so total gender equity in top management positions within 2020. At the moment, we are at 40%, and in Japan, it's very advanced, 38%. In Fendi, we are already at 63%, so very, very advanced in that. And actually, this program is extremely important to boost the motivation of women. There are many initiatives that are done. First of all, talking sessions, where many times 50% of men and 50% of women, they are invited to talk about bias so that we can collectively fight against this bias. In Japan, we did recently a talking session. I was a panelist, and the main objective of this talking session was to encourage women to talk about their careers, encourage women to express their ambition and to make it visible, to be entrepreneurial in their career path. Other initiatives are, for example, the fact of having dedicated ELLE coaching for talented women. I was very lucky to be part of it once, and it really helped me to acknowledge, even with myself, that I was ready to take over more responsibility. And also there was a big session on work-life balance, which was helping a lot as well. And another very interesting initiative is called ELLE WOMEN. You can Google and learn more about that. And recently, 60 talents from all over the world, including Japan, they went to Venice, and they worked on concrete ideas and innovative action plans to promote this gender equity and reach the quota of 50-50% within 2020.
At Cartier, so if we can have the change. So thank you. At Cartier, we are very, very lucky because we have, since already 10 years, created what we call Cartier Women's Awards, Women's Initiative Awards. This is not for us, for Cartier. It's really to support women around the world, everywhere in the world, who find solutions for problems of the world to make the world a better place. And I think that's really important. How can we make the world a better place? All these women, I was so inspired by them. I went to Singapore and saw these finalists. We had this year 2,800 applications of women, young women who created startups to solve problems. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, for example, that every year women die because they don't have any clean materials, clean tools to cut the umbilical cord when they're giving birth to their child. So they die from infection. So one woman had found a solution, and she has helped now, thanks to that and to the support that we as a Maison are giving to her organization, to save women's lives all over the world. This is just one example, but it's to show you the kind of initiatives that we aim to support to make the world a better place, and I think that's very important. So in helping these women, we help them, of course, because we want to make the world a better place. And me in Japan, I thought, okay, what can I do at my small level to also make the company a better place? And this is what we're doing. It's a Cartier Empowers Women. It's not just a short program. It will last for the next years. And it has comprised of many things. Beatrice was mentioning many high percentage of women in her company. We already have, at senior level, my executive committee, it's already 50-50 women and men. We have 73% women working in Cartier in Japan. And out of those 73% women, we have already extremely high percentage in management positions. In the boutiques, it's almost 50-50. In the office, I think we have even more women, actually, than men. But that doesn't matter. The most important is that we work together to create an environment where people feel happy, motivated to do what really they like to do in their life, what is passionate for them, what they enjoy, to create an environment that we can celebrate the success, recognize the hard work of the teams, an environment where there's teamwork is a value, where entrepreneurship is a value, and where each and every person can be who they truly are, sharing feedback across all ages, levels of seniority, men, women. Everybody can speak up, and we welcome this diversity, and that's what makes it stronger, I believe. So that's the human potential, making each and every person contribute so that collectively we are stronger.
Thank you very much. それでは次のテーマです。Work Style for the Future ラストテーマです。100年時代とも言われている今、未来に向けた女性の働き方に対してどんなビジョンをお持ちなのか伺いたいと思います。それでは Mrs. Platt, then Theo, would you like to start?
So the future, big word. I think today we may not realize, but there are changes coming very, very quickly. I do believe that with robotics, with AI, with all these new technologies, some of the jobs that we know today are not going to exist anymore. If you think about radiology, for example, some doctors, spend years and years to study that. Today, a machine can do better than a human person. On the other side, those technologies will mean that as people, we will have higher added value. We will bring more intelligence, more meaning to the creations of tomorrow. So I think in the future, the women and men who will succeed will be the ones who have the chance and the opportunity and the will to try different things, to learn different styles, different cultures, different jobs, different functions. I think that will make the people stronger and ready for this very, very fast changing world.
Yes, I definitely think that the strategic agility will be a key element of success, as well as more diversity in gender and also nationality. And it is really proven that companies that have more diversity, they are also stronger in innovation. And innovation today is extremely important. It's very important for all the industries, but in particular, I feel for our industries, because we are completely, obliged continuously to provide new services, new products, and you need to be very fast and very strategic. So more and more working means shifting from tasks to ideas. And to do that, we need to think how concretely we can work differently. So for example, home working is not very developed in Japan right now, but that could be like a key element to help our employees to step back from their routine and have more time to think. Also having more learning to give feedbacks and having more confrontation, which also I feel in Japan is something difficult culturally, is also something that we need to encourage. So, for example, we are expanding our offices next year in Fendi, Japan, and I'm really thinking about creating a sort of recreational area where people can talk to each other more. And this is also part of a program that we're starting this year for 18 people, key people in my team, 11 of them women. So we're doing an executive coaching, and the first part of this coaching was really how to learn to talk more to each other, to give feedbacks. And I was happy to see the excitement of my team because it was really the first time they were doing that. But I think shifting on ideas and teamwork with more challenge within the teamwork is really key for the future.
That's very interesting you say that, Beatrice, because we just finished rolling out a program on feedback culture to speak up and say what you think, and have this exchange of ideas, which in the end makes the group be more creative and together find more innovation. So I think that's very important. Also in terms of leadership, so we have created a specific program which is called Make Your Mark. It's a leadership program specifically dedicated for women so that women can speak to each other in a safe environment, and a mentoring program, as well as in terms of the work of the future, as Beatrice mentioned, working from home, but there's also flexible hours, super flex, giving that flexibility to people to be able to choose when to come and when to leave. The important thing is to do the job professionally and well. Does it have to be from 9 to 5? Not necessarily. So there are a lot of programs that we are creating within Maison Cartier in order to develop these skills of the people, to create stronger teamwork. Project management skills is another area where it will probably evolve in the future, working much more across departments and not only in silo, department by department. Working across countries, we have now regional committees so that we share best practices across the different countries and different cultures. And that's really enriching and motivating working styles for the future, I think.
Yes, definitely. And I think that in Japan, we need to have a little bit more awareness that sometimes working by objectives is also very important, because I feel there is a lot of attention on the process, and this is very sometimes put a lot of attention on the hours on the time that you work on something. But if we shift the attention to the objectives, and if we give a little bit more of freedom to people to get to their objectives, automatically people learn how to use this flexibility. And I always tell to my team, I don't care about how many hours you spend in the office, because it happened to me that one person said, but is it okay if I go home earlier? Of course, it is, definitely. I don't want my team to work long hours because it dilutes their ability also to think and to be strategic. What is important?
Switch off the lights.
Yes.
So that people go home,
Yes.
Go have a beer. I say sometimes, namabiru time. No, dozo, or champagne time, whatever you like, but please.
Exactly. I think that we need to encourage people to, to get to the objective, and maybe also to find, less time-consuming ways to get there, and put the attention on strategic agility and strategic thinking. That's very important.
Maybe one other topic is also in terms of cultural differences, that usually in Western countries there is an ability to fail. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail because you will learn from it. That's what's important. You will learn from it and be stronger the next time, be better the next time. In Japan, I feel sometimes there is afraid to make the mistake, and therefore we'll better not try something new because, if it doesn't work, what do we do? And I think that's probably the biggest difference that is sometimes maybe blocking in the creativity. Because once you unlock that, I've seen so much creativity and innovation from my team, my Japanese team. It's amazing. So I really wish that they can have the courage and dare to try new things, dare to do what they believe in. I really think that will bring a lot of power to the companies and the society.
Yeah, I also feel that dare is a very key word, and recently, a person from my team told me, Bea-san, what does dare mean? Because I discovered that dare by itself in Japan, it's a word that does not really exist. It's not really part of the culture. And this made me feel really proud of my team because they have been daring. And so they have tried to do new things. And I really feel they have understood that challenges are opportunities. And some time ago, I was feeling that challenges for them were risk of failure. So I really felt that they did a big step up. They raised the bar, and they are now excited by challenge, which I'm very happy about. And again, I'm even more proud now that I know that it's, even from a linguistic perspective, such a barrier.
Yes, one example that I have is 3 years ago when I arrived in Japan, everybody was telling us, there's high jewelry, these creative, amazing, unique creations with the savoir-faire and the craftsmanship of Maison Cartier. They're so beautiful, but they're not for Japanese. Japanese will not buy high jewelry. There's no potential, and we really believed in it. I believed in it, and my team believed in it, and together we dared to go forward. We had the courage to say, yes, we're going to do a high jewelry event in Kyoto and in Tokyo. It was beautiful, and from that moment, all of a sudden, sales went from 0 to the sky, and it was such an amazing success that since then, of course, everybody is now understanding there is a lot of potential in Japan. And it's just one example of how when a team believes in something and dares to go for a new challenge together, we can really make it and be very successful.
Thank you very much. この社会でね、女性が働くということをいろいろな角度からお話しいただきました。皆さんの今日これからにもヒントがあったんじゃないかなと思います。お話にも出てきました女性の起業家を応援するカルティエウーマンイニシアチブアワードですが、7月17日にはエルとのコラボレーションイベントも実施を予定しているということです。詳細はエルオンラインをご覧いただいて、ぜひご参加いただければと思います。それではですね、お時間が迫ってまいりましたが、最後にせっかくの貴重な機会ですから、会場の皆さんからご質問を受け付けたいと思います。ご質問のある方は挙手をお願いいたします。So we're going to move on to the Q&A session. ご質問のある方、挙手お願いいたします。いらっしゃらないかな。いかがでしょうか。挙手をお願いいたします。ご質問のある方、いらっしゃいますでしょうか。まだね、プロセス考えていらっしゃいますかね。では、後方の女性にマイクをお願いします。
Hi, my name is Aiko. Thank you for the very great speech. I'm so inspired. I am wondering if you, from the speech that you just shared to us, I'm wondering what is the most respectful thing toward each other's brand?
Well, I love Fendi. I mean, it's a beautiful brand. They make these fur coats. I tried one once. I had to really resist the temptation. It was very difficult. Yeah, beautiful clothes.
Well, I think that we both share a big love for beauty. I think a big love for excellence, and I think that we both share the ability to use the great knowledge that is in our companies to be very innovative, and I think that this is something that makes us in common. I think that we probably share also big ambition to make our brands extremely desirable in the luxury world, and to meet Japanese customers' expectations, which are extremely high. So I think that we are very much into this challenge, and when I talk to Veronica, I really feel that this ambition is equally shared for us. You know.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very high ambition in Japan. It's a wonderful country. And I know that for many years already, Cartier has a very strong link with Japanese people through the savoir-faire, the craftsmanship, the history of the maison, more than 170 years. I think that idea of history and long savoir-faire is important for the Japanese people. When you think that out of, I think, 8,000 companies, more than 200 years old, 5,000 of those are in Japan. So we're almost there, not quite yet, but we have very high ambitions, and I agree with Beatrice, the beauty, the excellence, the femininity also, but femininity with a touch of sparkle, a touch of special, unique style. I think that's key.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
ご質問
Thank
ご
you
回答
for
あ
your
りがとうご
question.
ざいました。ありがとうございます。ということですね、お時間がなくなってしまいましたので、ここで Q&A セッションを打ち切らせていただきます。いかがだったでしょうか。ヒントたくさんあったと思います。ゲストのベロニカ・プラット・バンティールさん、そしてベアトリーチェ・モングイディさんに大きな拍手をお送りください。Thank you very much. Now we're closing the session, yes.